Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a lot of speculation regarding Filian and her hiatus and everything that's been going on with her getting her accounts wiped. Now, again, this has been a pretty big topic among a lot of fans and a lot of VTuber fans of the past couple of days, but there's been some kind of questions on exactly what has happened to her YouTube channel, right? Because if you don't know, not only has her kind of Twitter been wiped, her TikTok been wiped, everything else been wiped, but her YouTube channel has also been wiped as well. And you can see here that it is starting to, there is no more views left on the channel. And you can see on Social Blade 2, she lost over 579 million views, which obviously is very, very interesting. And a lot of people have been wondering whether these videos have been removed or privated, right? Because those are two very big things. If they've been fully removed and deleted, that could be pretty bad, right? Because of course that is a lot of content that has now gone down the drain. But it seems like we finally have an answer to what is going on, as recently we've actually been taking a look at it through the Wayback Machine, and you can see here this is Filian's channel before it got taken down, and we have a little bit of a look at some of the videos, right? And you can actually click on these links and go to these links over on YouTube, and it will show you exactly where they are. Now, whenever a video is deleted on YouTube, usually it will just be like, we cannot access this video, it's deleted or whatever. But there's something very interesting about the videos that, are still on here, including I clicked on this one here, which was Fillian had how many concussions, and also this viewer rating the viewer's closet thing with Tricky there, which I clicked on both of those. And if you go to it, obviously it doesn't appear anything here saying we've not been able to archive the associated video, but if you go to the link on YouTube, you can see here it says video unavailable. The video is private, so it actually says the video is private, which usually would mean that yes, the video has been privated by Fillian, and that this is the case for every video. The same for the other video as well. They both have exactly the same message, no matter which one you look at, right? And again, if you literally just look at the Wayback Machine and do this on any of the videos, you will also get the same kind of outcome, which means obviously there is a lot of hope in terms of the ARG and things like that. Of course, as I said, there's been a pretty 50-50 mixed bag, and some people that have been very doomer about this kind of stuff, and some people that have been very optimistic. Now, I've been very optimistic about this. Obviously, I know this is a part of the ARG. I know this is part of the hiatus. I know this is part of potentially her comeback, right? And I think that obviously finding out that these videos have been privated and not deleted obviously shows us the fact that, hey, it seems like she probably will be coming back, and that there probably will be some plans to potentially either unprivate the videos, or at least there's some kind of sentimental value there to keep them and private them, and maybe there's a chance they could get archived or something, maybe on a different channel or whatever, right? And again, it is a pretty good sign, because as I said, a lot of people have been very speculative about whether she's just deleted everything, picked up and left. Now, of course, it might be a little bit of a different story for stuff like Twitter, for example. I don't think you can private a tweet. Last time I checked, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think you can private a tweet. So it seems like maybe some of her tweets have been deleted, which, to be honest, I don't think it's the worst thing ever, because I think that at the end of the day, a lot of people do that. If you guys remember, I think it was PewDiePie a couple of years ago, he got like into some drama over like an old tweet that he made, and from now on he kind of deletes his tweets that he's made from over 5 years ago, and constantly does that, right? Constantly deletes some of his oldest tweets, which a lot of content creators do now, where they delete their older tweets, because sometimes they don't age as well, right? If you have a tweet from like 10 years ago, some certain kind of things and sayings and whatever were probably a little bit more acceptable back in 10 years ago than they are now. People would dig that up, and then they will go after you, right? And of course, I think that is one of those things where, it's a good thing to delete old tweets. And I think that maybe it's kind of like roughly in the same kind of thing as what Fillian was thinking. Not in the sense that she said anything bad in the past, or that she's had this account for a very long time, because again, she's joined since 2021. But I think, having a fresh start with no tweets on the account anyways is probably not a bad thing, as I said, in terms of just like people finding old tweets, but also in terms of just, starting fresh on Twitter again. As for the case for the other accounts, I'm assuming they're privated, because I know you can private stuff on TikTok. over on Twitch, of course. Well, I mean, it's a stream, so there's not really much to do there. But again, it is interesting, right? It is interesting to kind of go through and look at what has been privated and not privated, because, we've also talked about, for example, our friends who have also commented on this kind of stuff, and we don't know how much they know either, right? For example, Chacha, your VMum, put here, Fillian is lost in response to Fillian's page here being taken down. And yeah, it is pretty interesting, the kind of responses that we've had, including the one from Camila, which says that she obviously hasn't been messaged or whatever. Now, as I said in the last video, that might have changed since that clip came out. She might have messaged them in the past week to kind of come out and say this kind of stuff, put out a tweet about it. I don't know. But to be honest, my most kind of, I think the thing that I believe is that potentially they just kind of did it together, right? It's like a bit of like a domino effect. I think it was Norosama did it first, and then Chacha did it, and then I think it was someone else did it, I forgot. And then it just went on and on and on and on, and it ended up just being a trending thing among her friends. So again, my kind of belief is that, but maybe there's something different, but that is also blown up over on Twitter as well. But the most important part is the YouTube statistics, as I've said, right? It seems like she hasn't lost any subscribers, by the way, either, which is still crazy. For removing every single video on the channel, she has not lost a single subscriber, and has in fact gained subscribers, since she went on hiatus, which I still think is crazy. But yeah, you can see she deleted, or not deleted, she privated, as we now know, 722 videos that day, and ended up using 579 million views for that. And again, they are privated, so she still has those views, and obviously if she was to publicize all of them again, she would have a pretty insane growth of viewership. Now, of course, that does beg the question as well, when if she does come back, if she was to reinstate these videos, would YouTube maybe have a problem with it? Would YouTube maybe have some kind of interesting, I guess, something to say about this? Because we've had many situations of channels being banned for getting subscribers too quickly, or for getting video views too quickly, or for getting this too quickly, right? And obviously if Fillian then goes and unprivates all of the videos, and how many views was the first one? 500. So she would be getting over 1 billion views back if she was to publicize every single video back once again. YouTube will probably pick up on that and potentially suspend her account in terms of like auto moderation. Now, of course, I'm sure maybe you could talk it out of YouTube and say, hey, this is just for a little stunt that I'm doing. That's why I've got so many views. It's because I am privated these videos. But I think the YouTube auto systems, knowing how bad the AI moderation is over on there, could pick up on it and potentially could lead to a short little suspension while they kind of appeal it. But again, that's just my kind of theory. I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. Maybe there won't be any issues because it is unprivating a video rather than uploading a video. But even then, I think the kind of billion views added to a channel at one point might be pretty crazy for YouTube to handle. I don't know, but we'll have to see, right? Because of course, it seems like potentially there could be a return for Fillian coming very soon, especially with this update, right? I definitely do think that this could be the kind of turning point, and that this could be the start of the kind of, advertisement for the channel. And as I said, what that will look like, I don't know. Whether it's going to be some things like appearing on these channels or whatever, I don't know. Or whether it's some things appearing on, Twitter. Again, it could be anything. It might not be any of those things, and she might come back in a completely different way. But again, I think it's closer than ever now to the last couple times we've talked about it. And again, it is very exciting, right? And a lot of people are excited to see what she will do whenever she comes back. But yeah, that's essentially it. I just kind of wanted to cover that and show you guys that essentially this is a privated video thing, and that this is not the case of actually removals of videos. It is just privated, as shown by the Wayback Machine there. But as I said, you can go check that out for yourself as well if you want to test it out on more videos too. But yeah, that's about logo for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.